And welcome back, everybody. Well, we're slotted in now for our second game of the night here on stage 2 of the QPL Zoo.
Yeah, absolutely. We're going into Raisy versus av3k. This is going to be a slobber knocker. Is that what they say?
Yeah.
That's the term of a game. And
You can go for it.
Raisy's been very, very scary.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if he managed to get his best out or if it was just Cooler simply totally possessed and taking down the title, but we saw some games from Raisy that it was another level of ability when he was just getting his gauntlet halfway through, just flashing and saying, hey, look, this is a gauntlet.
Yeah.
I'm not going to use it, but I'm going to take my time to look at it before I then change weapon and kill you. So if we get that level of Raisy, this is going to be something, pretty terrifying for everyone to witness.
It could be huge. It's the start of something new, right? Where we're seeing so much form and so much perfection there. So if that's sustainable and if that can be maintained, then it definitely would be a sight to behold.
Yeah, indeed. And we've seen so many crazy highlights from Raisy. Some of the rails we were getting. I think the start of the series between him and Cypher in the semis, where it's just like, all right, flicks everywhere, not even bothered. If anything, he was getting a little bit too aggressive, which is it's just such different shades of Raisy from what we've seen 2 years ago, where everyone saw him as this very defensive player. But he's had this streak of aggression and being comfortable being aggressive for a long time, I think. And now it's realizing itself properly.
Yeah, I suppose it's one of those as well where obviously it's really kind of hard to instill confidence into a player and force them to become aggressive versus someone that could be quite naturally confident and bold into those plays and be able to really maintain themselves when playing aggressively and just learn how to be defensive. So maybe it's one of those where he perfected his defense and now he feels more out of his shell to just go, look, I can be sick, and we'll just go off on one.
I actually want to spend loads more time talking about Raisy, but I think we better introduce av3k because av3k's come in. He had a slightly different story at Luca to Raisy, but this guy is the prince. He's been playing at a pro level since he was a young teenager, and he gets more and more beautiful every year. He brings actually his own level of aggression, his own breed of aggression, should we put it that way, as that's what he's always been known for. Someone who is a bit of a bulldog, who's going to jump in your face with nails, with LG, rockets, whatever. He just wants to close the gap. He wants to make you feel bad about life, and he wants to get those big wins.
Yeah, which is definitely what he needs to do on the server tonight as well. Going in versus an opponent that's really got all the stock right now. It's going to be a hard-fought fight for him. What are your initial thoughts on this game between these two?
Honestly, I think Raisy's the only thing that I think will stop it is if Raisy is heartbroken from losing the finals against Cooler. I think otherwise, personally, I think Raisy's going to fairly comfortably win. But we're totally going to see. It's all about how av3k can prevent Raisy from imposing himself and being able to put up his own sort of windshield and running at him.
Well, let's have a look at the picks and bans that are going to affect things as well, as we do have the veto for this series, so we can see where exactly we are going to be having our maps take place and which champions will be in play. We do have another BJ Eisen game there on Vale at the end.
Okay.
Nick's coming out as well versus Clutch. Raisy's Clutch, always a treat to see. Stronger Pika as well on Awoken. This looks pretty good, Zoo.
Yeah, I mean, the fact that Raisy's got the first ban on map 1, he manages to get the clutch out straight away. av3k's not going to sort of counter pick on his first pick and go for the clutch because it's just not something within his pool. When Raisy uses clutch, it just seems indestructible. I want to sort of present it in that context that if av3k can take down clutch, that's an enormous win. I think he's really up against it in map 1, but if he can overcome that hurdle, he could win the entire series 3-0, because that would be just a monstrosity to behold. Doom versus Strog, I think there's a really good pick from av3k. Raisy maybe going with the Strog so that he can have what Cooler had against him and reverse Pika play somehow. I slightly prefer av3k's pick, but not by much. And as you say, BJ Eisen right at the end. Eisen, an absolute classic on Vale. I think Eisen is a slightly stronger pick overall, but Raisy's incredibly talented with BJ.
Yeah, if there's someone that you want running around with 2 guns in their hands, it's probably going to be Raisy just popping heads.
Yeah, indeed. And in some respects, I kind of am considering how roll with me, community. I see, and it's not just in the way that it's not as much in the way he plays as it's more like Raisy's mentality and his demeanor on stage and how he presents himself. He seems like this strange second coming of Toxic. I wonder if anyone would agree with me on that, because he is like this. Seems so emotionless, and the interviews he gives are brilliant because it's all straight firing, deadly serious. There's almost emotionless, but robotic in his response, but in a sort of strangely like charming way, because he's saying what you want him to say. So yeah, I wonder if anyone would agree with that. Hit us up on Twitter if you agree.
Hashtag.
Can I say that?
Yeah. Yeah, that's approved. That's fine. That's allowed. But yeah, he does definitely seem like someone that's got an awful lot to prove on the server, especially as well off the back of what went down at Luca. Is that going to fuel him, or is that going to really slow him down, maybe?
I think in the past he has had trouble being able to conquer his losses in that way, and there tends to be that period where he has to recoup. I think now it's going to be a bit different. I'm expecting Raisy to be all guns blazing, and I think you're going to take a fairly convincing win, and I think that, like, in a way, to prove a point, you know?
Yes, yeah.
So let's see, because it's going to begin now.
Yeah, we're kicking it off. We're going to delve into it and see, is Raisy going to start raising hell, or is av3k going to pop off? As we delve straight into the action, opening here with av3k. Straight away, he's found himself an LG and some rockets.
Oh, the rail lands already from Raisy, sorry. And av3k is really trying to hold on tightly to some of these resources. And around any of these corners, if he runs into him unknowingly, he will have that ghost walk ready. And I think av3k's going to want to play a much slower game than Raisy. Oh, hello. Going to deny that. Thought he was going to get himself onto the heavy. Oh, the missed rocket jump, though, from Raisy. Oh, the rocket!
What? That's mad. That's absolute lunacy. Everything that could have gone awkward there did. Bizarre.
Oh, that mid-air was magic there, wasn't it?
That was lovely.
Was fantastic. I think av3k felt that he got off scot-free then, but Raisy had the last word in.
Oh, actually so close to getting the follow-up frag as well, and Raisy's already going to get himself the second on the board in a matter of seconds. Okay. That's not the outcome we wanted.
Let's gloss over that a second. And we better not at the same time. That was a small faux pas there from Raisy, but you could see how determined he was to push the agenda onto av3k, who was on the heavy pad. But Raisy's good off the spawn, he's good at control, and he's got his shield back up soon with no ghost walk for av3k. Oh my god, he's hitting these. Both of them are hitting great rails at the moment, actually.
Yeah, av3k just really coming off worse for wear, though, in the opener. He was left tremendously low. Raisy taking 2 hits as well. That's going to slow down his push, and he's going to have to double back to try and get himself some armor. Shield gets popped. av3k completely ruined there as he gets taken out by the mining laser.
The mining laser, it's very difficult to account for that. I think av3k felt when the rail was missed, he was going to be able to get out of there, but Raisy is so fluent with clutch. You've just always got to watch out.
2 minutes in, 2 frags on the board here for Raisy. Looks to try and get himself another one. It would be free, but we won't talk about that. As he starts to back off, looking for the frag with the LG. The commit doesn't really work out too well. av3k able to overthrow and starts to put up his mark.
A slight off-timing of the fight there for Raisy. He was getting very aggressive, but still had another second for his shield to come up, and you can land a lot of damage on a clutch within a second. Raisy drops the ball on a fight. av3k is on the board. Can he continue this? The Ghost Walk's forced out. Both of them so weak, sub 10 HP at that point. And there's going to be a heavy, but what a rail from av3k, as he is going to tie the scores up on Blood Run.
Both of them straight back in for another follow-up fight. av3k looked like he was going to be going down there, but he does find the kill, eliminates Raisy, and now gets the lead. Straight back in for another fight as well, but he was so low, he didn't really have too much time to try and get away. Raisy had a good spawn to completely commit into that. Does actually get the rocket off, though, on both of them. Taking so much damage. Raisy, lucky to be alive, hoping that his rockets will do something, Zoot, but they're not landing.
I think he had the drop, so he knows he can go through the teleporter. This is a very aggressive Raisy at the moment. He's being aggressive. He's pushing the boat out almost a little too far. If he continues doing this for the next 2-3 minutes, I think av3k's going to... I think actually he's already latched onto that and has accounted for his aggression. This is a bit of a problem. With the shield up, av3k commits hard into the room and no longer has a way out anymore. Ooh. He's rollable.
Wow, he's very low here. Raisy essentially completely fully restocked now as he starts to hunt down. That was a beautiful snapshot with the rail. And av3k is left almost lifeless at this point. Knocks quite far back, pops the Ghost Walk so we can try and escape. He almost does. Although now he's been found risky going in for the rails, basically point blank.
It's just insane.
This is madness from Raisy. You can see he's starting to get pumped to.
He's so vulnerable the whole time, but he keeps on pushing out. It's so difficult to deal with. Is he actually going to go out for this item? Unbelievable that he has the balls to do that. This means that av3k's going to get... Oh, he doesn't get himself onto the Mega Health. There was a passage towards the Mega, but Raisy's just strong, fast off the spawn. And he wants to fight already. Raisy's possessed.
He's mad. The way he's been playing this is just absolutely ridiculous. It's so aggressive. It's just absolutely hyper-aggressive at every opportunity. Raisy taking heavy hits, but being able to deal harder ones, as he will find that frag onto av3k. Once again, establishes dominance and finds the lead, but that is quickly swept under the rug there by av3k. It's back to a 6-6, but another fight is going to occur. There is no slowing down right now, Zoo.
Raisy? There's no chill with this guy. He really does need some resources at the moment. We're getting to the last 4 minutes of the game. He's not been able to establish a lead, despite he's had a mix of incredibly strong plays and incredibly over-risky plays, which av3k has reacted to immensely well. But he's going to get out of there. He decides Heavy's a little too dangerous, and this is now suddenly going to let Raisy get onto 2 major items. This could be a turning point in the game.
This is a crucial time. The jump across there, both of them trying to do some damage with the rails. Raisy seeing rockets whiz by him as av3k is firing out these warning shots.
Well, av3k's going to still have timing on these major items. He's decided, I just don't want to push right now. The problem is, if he doesn't keep landing these good rails, and Raisy's got this stack, it's more than just having control. You know, you can dominate the next fight. You can force out the Ghost Walk, and you can really get yourself closer to edging out that lead. av3k's got to be... he's got to be possessed in his own way now, just with the precision and focus and making sure that he gets that out of control damage.
Leaps around the corner. The shots go up. He gets the opening tag off and now starts to back out. av3k. Oh.
Definitely a world where he could have committed to the Mega Health then, but decided not to. That is a crazy rail shot for Raisy to land.
Raisy's finally got him where he wants him as well. av3k at this point now in much more of an awkward spot, literally trapped. It's just like what we had in the first series. He's just stuck there. He's going to try and go for the escape play though. Wants to bait out Raisy and hear the audio cue. Raisy's not falling for it.
And the weird thing is that using the Ghost Walk is probably one of the worst things that can happen to av3k if he doesn't do enough damage, because then he's properly out of control. If Raisy still has items working for him, he can push in so much more easily. av3k is not just trying to prevent himself from taking damage, he's trying to prevent himself from having to use that ability, and that's very difficult. And as you say, this is reminiscent of what we saw between CNZ and Base, but the difference is how that movement plays out between the different matchup we have here.
I'm pretty sure it was literally the same scoreline.
It was 6-6 when we got to sudden death.
Yeah. Oh, well, let's see if someone is actually going to find the 7th frag here. av3k starts to make his push out. Trickles his way back up the bounce pad, but doesn't fully commit to it. Here comes the escape play. They're both trading damage, and Raisy quickly exit through stage left and doesn't fully fight it out. Havoc will get quite low here. 95 HP, but he still has the Ghost Walk if he needs to quickly get out of there.
Still hasn't used the Ghost Walk though, which is great. As long as he keeps it. Jackie, that's it. That's the magic. The magic. Uh-oh. It's stress. Oh! And it doesn't even let him use it. And actually, that's not terrible for Abbott. Okay, it's pretty awful, but it's not as bad as it could be. If he used his Ghost Walk before dying and doesn't have it now, it's even worse. Now he's got to somehow make a comeback in the dying moments of this game to stop Raisy from taking map 1.
The awkward part is, though, that he's already lost so much HP straight away coming back into it. You've conceded the Mega over towards Raisy, so he's got himself into a much better position. Literally heights above Avok in terms of the HP pool. A direct rocket and then a follow-up with a rail as well. That is spectacular.
That rocket totally destroyed Avek's movement, so he couldn't get to the heavy or anything. He was just a sitting duck. Raisy, better get out of there. There's still 20 seconds left. Don't give up an easy frag for nothing. You don't have your shield up. Mega will be up in 2 seconds. Avek going for a bit of a Hail Mary. He has to at this stage. And Avek's going to call that one a GG.
There you go, closed down. 6-9 scoreline. Raisy takes it. It was a bit of an awkward one. The middle portion of the map did get a little bit scary. Obviously coming down to a 6-6 that was tied up for, well, at least a couple of minutes there.
I think Raisy was trying to tighten his game a lot because he was playing incredibly loose with his aggression, and then he realized, well, actually, we are 6-6 now, and we've got 4 minutes to go. I can't afford to be over-aggressive anymore. I think we saw 59% LG from Avok, which is nice numbers to be getting, even versus a clutch. Very, very good.
Yeah,
I like it.
Not too bad. I mean, definitely more interested in what kind of expected going through. I never thought we'd see 2 clutches already over the course of the day.
Yeah,
so, you know, the fact we got to witness a bit of that is pretty good.
It's going to be fun, right? But that's the thing. I said that this might be a little bit of a one-sided affair, but Avok gave us a very good game here on game 1. Let's see if we can continue that trend. Moving on to the next map, we are going to go on Awoken, and I think the matchup's going to favor him a little bit, champion-wise. But Raisy just showing straight away that he will do literally anything for frags, for blood, for whatever.
No, yeah, the fights that Raisy took were really quite wild, especially compared to pretty much anything we saw done from Avok there. It was a lot more calculated and kind of, like, I'll go for this because I feel like it's viable. Whereas Raisy just went, yeah, I'm going to bounce around the corner, I'm going to flick shot you with my rail, whilst you're literally about an inch away from me.
He's trying to choreograph some kind of frag movie just while it's going on.
Like, he is literally a living highlight reel with a lot of the stuff that he's been doing.
He's got his Steven Spielberg hat on at the same time, and he's just, doing whatever he can.
Madness, it's madness. I mean, if that's maintainable, it can keep this up. It is a good start. Obviously, a little bit spooky towards the middle portions, but he comes in strong to actually shut down the game. It's a nice way to open up the series for Raisy. Obviously, fresh off the back of Luca as well, he's going to want to prove that that wasn't a fluke. This is literally who he is and that he's here to stay.
Completely. So going into Awoken now, Strog can be a little bit of a wild card sometimes. Yeah, I think we saw amazing plays from Cooler with it, and maybe that serves as inspiration for Raisy, not using the Pika for pretty much an entire game, and then last second you got that crouch slide as well. Mobility is not too bad at all, but even with the crouch slide, I don't think the mobility is quite as good as Doom on this map, because there's lots of ledges you can make those nice little jumps to, get those shortcuts going, and yeah, it could turn with the sort of equal model sizes too. This is going to turn into a very interesting game of who's going to be landing the shots that they need to, who can get the control working for them. But I always think that control might go out of the window when Raisy's on the server, and it's more like, okay, control's a sort of default thing. Yeah, we're thinking about the fight way more than we're thinking about how do we sustain that control and prevent our opponent getting the items. How do we trap the items? How do we get as much damage out as possible?
Yeah. No, I am curious. It's also interesting because we've seen so much more development of just Strog being played ever since obviously the change came in, where it kind of got a whole new lease of life. I think it's been really cool to see what Dahang's been up to with it when we've seen some of that coming through.
Sorry, did I hear ketchup? Just
But like, it's cool that we're actually seeing more and more use and way more interesting ways of him being played, right? Especially with Pika, some of the ways that we actually see that now coming into effect, because it's like, all right, you know what? It's a champion I actually want to play. It's way more viable. We're getting all these interesting moments.
And the interesting thing I think with Raisy is one of the movements he's not really become accustomed with over his career in Quake Champions is crouch sliding. I think he's someone that if he gets to grip with this type of movement, he can be really, really scary. He loves high mobility champions, so if he can nail the mechanics behind that and get that speed going, he could actually be a huge force to be reckoned with Strogan Pika. And if if he gets himself onto Slash as well, who's even faster, could be unbelievable. But I think this is really Raisy's first foray into crouch sliding mechanics, pro stage, here in stage 2.
The thing is, it would play to his strengths as well, because like just how rapid of a player he is when it comes down to just the way he aims, the way he approaches, like any of his fights, he is just quick in the way he likes to play the game. So it would definitely translate well. But we're going to go into it, map 2 now, as we slip on over. Let's see how things are going to go here.
We start with av3k. Oh, it's just inches away from landing a nice little direct. Feels bad the nails aren't quite as juicy as they were versus Clutch. I can see for our X-ray that already Raisy getting herself around the map pretty quickly. And trying to get through this connector area. Pika to scare him away is going to land the 75 blast. Both major items are up, and Raisy still being aggressive. Has the heavy, is going to be able to circle back for the mega health. And av3k wondering what the hell just happened. All items have slipped away.
av3k starting to roam around a little bit now as he gets into a very awkward fight. He's so low, yet somehow still alive. Although Raisy, he isn't going to mess about for long. Does fully capitalize on that and gets the opening pick on the board.
And that rotation of items coming back out again. Missed rail, nice little dodging work. There's the rail through the hole in the wall, and they're going to go for actually something not too standard. Going to crash it out, sees that av3k isn't at the mega, so alright, I can run in. I'm late, but I can still take it. The timing differential actually favors him a lot, and now he can close in for that kill. Perfect rail, perfect execution. Perfect.
Yeah, it was really actually quite nice to watch.
I wasn't joking.
No, it was perfect. Raisy straight back through. Oh no, he's trying to go for the punch, but there is not going to be any punching today, as Raisy has removed him from existence in a matter of seconds there.
And a nice easy hold onto mega health. He's going to spot av3k now, and landing the rail pretty fast. Tries to dodge as much of that rocket damage as he can, but he's still going to double back out with the lightning gun. And av3k is low. He's getting these good defensive rockets out, which has been one of the best things from him in the series. But he needs a little more.
Raisy getting some height there as he launches himself back into the fray once again. 2 minutes into this one, and there has been a lot of action, and that is not going to slow down anytime soon. Pika going out as he tries to chase down av3k. av3k does escape and gets a fadeaway rocket out as well, but he's so low, this could be his downfall here, as he's left gliding in the air as he tried to make his way towards the mega, and he has been plucked out of the sky by Raisy's rail.
That was a risky play from av3k, but there was slightly high risk, high reward. If he can get himself onto mega health, suddenly he puts himself in a great position. But Raisy getting the rail shot, not looking bad. Heavy taken by av3k, but he's lost out on a lot of damage straight away. Slightly under contest though in 3rd minute.
The rockets holding in. They're going to be exploding around him. Pika goes back out. Oh, as if he gets the kill with the Pika. That's the 5k picked up now. He's already got 5 frags into this one. The high octane really shining through as he looked for the double kill.
We're getting a lot of Pika usage out of him. This is definitely not the cooler he played against. This is something very different. av3k moving in. Might have to be careful. One rocket very good. Can't get that flick rail. The punch! I thought it didn't connect. I thought he punched the pillar for a second.
I think he just got stuck on the ledge and didn't quite land the first, but luckily gets the follow-up. Literally a second later as well, and I think that would have been the double tap from the shotgun, and he would have died. So, very lucky, av3k, for actually getting a single frag there.
Heavy. He is going to drop 2 it. Very nice combo from av3k. 2 to 6 now. As Raisy is imposing himself on all the major items, whether he rightfully should be having them or not. He wants a fight of some sort. This should be another kill for av3k. He gets it before the mega health spawns. So av3k's looking very, very good. He's got all the weapons he needs. Ammunition is great. Armor's great. It's been perfect for Raisy, but now is it turning perfect for av3k?
Ooh, a near miss on the shot. Dips out straight through the teleporter. As he is close by, looking to try and do some damage. Raisy taking a couple of small hits. 70 damage there received to the face. That's going to knock him down to a bit of a worse position. Av3k, 3 frags behind at this point, so he does need to try and push his agenda. Goes in for the opening, does get the kill, and that's now 4 frags. He is starting to bridge the gap.
So there was a steal on the Mega Health, but it was a bit of a bait at the end. av3k had a great position to do damage on it. Raisy comes prancing in. The Pika does a lot, and then the follow-up of the LG. It's a mutual frag with a good defensive rocket. But still, anything can happen in this game. It's gone totally mad.
Oh, this is crazy. And Raisy is going to be looking to do even more. 5 minutes have passed. There's still a whole lot more time for damage to come through. Looks for the opening with the LG. Getting spammed down. But av3k is missing these shots. It's a bit of a struggle. And Raisy, whilst barely alive on just below 50 HP, will get the kill.
Some very difficult lightning gun angles for him. He connected with enough, but it did make the fight very, very close. And the heavy will be up. This will be a bit of a relief for him to acquire. av3k will have good timing from this. What? Okay. Gets Pika straight into a flick rail. Mega health up right after. It's going to spawn bang on time, and this should be another kill for Raisy. That's very difficult to do what he just achieved. With that rail after the Pika, it's disorientating to go back, to switch between the two of them.
Yeah. More
so from Pika to Strog. Oh, there's a double jump.
Oh no, av3k literally just gliding in the air for so long. Couldn't do too much to try and evade the stream of damage that was coming out from Raisy's LG. Now this is just classic Raisy at this point. This is really vintage Zoo, as he's just going to be racking up those frags one by one.
It is, but it's the fact that he's doing it with Strog, which is quite cool. Again, it's a very unusual champion for him to be playing.
Yeah.
And I'm really glad that he's exploring the possibilities with this, and also showcasing how fantastic his rail can be. 12-5 now. Spots the boots of av3k. I think he's going to press forward even more. Lightning gun out. Rail is a terrible weapon for av3k to be using in this close range. Even if he lands 1, lands 2, he's definitely going down. There's been now 2 mega healths since Raisy's actually taken any damage, I think. Ooh, it's crispy.
Yeah, that was a good flick across. Raisy scouting out. Trying to see if he is nearby. As he clears the angle, drops down, looks to get the heavy pickup, will be able to claim it, and also gets a frag thrown in for free.
Set up. av3k didn't seem entirely ready for it.
Oh no.
Oh my god.
Oh, the BM.
Oh, what did he just do? Pummel to rocket. I don't know if I've seen something quite like that in QPL. Or any other professional Quake we've had in Quake Champions. That is something else.
That is really rough.
The statement is trying to be made there. Hits the rail, making its way through the teleporter. Raisy is someone who likes to strike fear into his opponent's eyes in an incredibly literal way.
Yeah. I mean, it's one of those where, you know, he can prove a point while still being able to do so much damage time in, time out. And that's literally what's happening right here, right now. Transition across, looks to try and go for the rail shot up close and personal, will miss it and will perish because of it. And av3k, with really not enough time to bring this one back, he would need 10 frags.
Did I just get pummeled to rocketed? Did that really just happen? He better not say 42, otherwise we've definitely got some beef.
Oh yeah, he would be furious. av3k finding the drone, being able to take it down as he pushes out, but it's not looking great for him. He's not even given any opportunities to actually try and find some frags here. Does get another kill, but at this point it's kind of just a pat on the back.
If he can pat himself on the back a few more times, then it could set him up for a fun Veil. But at this point, it's very much make yourself feel good for Veil. Try to, at least. You just got pummeled to rocket it. I don't want to throw shade or anything, but that kind of sucks, right?
It's not ideal. It's definitely not what you would want in this scenario.
But I love it so much from Raisy, the fact that he's willing to go for plays that you don't see anybody else in the QPL trying to do that. They just don't even attempt it, no matter what stage of victory they currently seem to be going through. It's only really Raisy's got the balls to do it.
Well, he's also, at this point, kind of just the king of the world. Like, he's living his own movie when it comes to some of the plays he's going for. And then you also get into a scenario where, you know, if you can live in av3k's head rent-free, you might as well.
That's very, very true. Guys, that's GG. That is 18-7 for Raisy here on map 2. He's securing himself 8 points in total at the moment. Are we going to get ourselves a second 3-0 of the day? This is, yeah, glorious work, Raisy.
Yeah, it could be the day of 3-0s if it carries on like this, as that is quite ridiculous.
Let me check my notes. It could be. Yeah. I didn't really figure it out, but...
Yeah. But no, that's pretty ridiculous. Obviously, Raisy has been looking sick, and it's kind of one of those where we expected him to because of how good he looks at Luca.
Yeah.
But you do have that small chance where it's like maybe you come home, you're feeling a little bit shaken, maybe not fresh, maybe it's playing on your mind that you didn't take the win at the tournament. Instead, I feel like he's just come back with maybe even more wanting to prove.
And I think he's almost gearing himself up for like another cooler encounter. Because if anything, they don't have a few, but the battles they're having are starting to become a sort of classic in Quake Champions. It used to be Raisy who very much had Cooler's number, and he was genuinely scared of facing Raisy in a bracket.
Right.
And now I think Cooler actually feels like he might have the upper hand, and I certainly would if I were him, having come off the victory at Luca. So this is almost like Raisy, he's getting the eye of the tiger out, getting through these matches, trying to do his pummel to Rockets, laying up that Cooler match, and putting it on his dartboard.
Getting himself ready. You never know. I mean, maybe this is his training beforehand, trying to get himself mentally ready and just wants to prove that, not only is he going to be fragging with style, but he'll also do some outrageous shenanigans.
Was this the...
This was the pummel, wasn't it?
No, this was it was at that area though, wasn't it? Maybe we missed it. Oh no, here it is. Oh god. Oh god.
The little love tap into the rocket.
It did just happen.
Oh, that's good. Oh, some lovely stuff there.
Yeah, so Raisy's mechanics are looking decent.
Yeah.
Can he keep up that form? I feel like av3k's been spending a lot of time respecting Raisy, kind of trying to keep him back, because it's somehow like a more aggressive style than he's been famous for himself, and he's the one trying to control him. It's like, right, I'm going to tie you on a leash and I'm going to put you in the lightning gun room and you stay there, please, for like 10 seconds before he bites through the leash. But it's proving very difficult for av3k to control. In Vale, we come into more tight corridors, a bit Blood Run-esque that we were seeing. Wondering if we're going to see some great defensive rockets again. Good turret placement. That's going to be the key for av3k to have a good shot at winning this map. What will help him a lot more is if he can get his rails really, really on.
Yeah, it just feels like it's a bit rough at this point for av3k, because obviously no matter what level he's playing at right here, Raisy just seems to be on a whole nother planet of just, like, he's channeled his skill right now. He's looking sick.
I hope that av3k is just cleaning his gauntlet bind at the moment, unsheathing it, and ready to equip it in this, because it would be very cool to see a reaction to it. I don't think I'm necessarily expecting it.
No.
av3k's always someone who takes his games incredibly seriously, and it's never... That level of aggression hasn't generally been in his repertoire. But who knows? Sometimes when it gets personal, right?
Yeah. I mean, if there was an opportunity for you to kind of just wild out a little bit and throw everything out the window and just go, look, I'm just going to go for it, this would be the time.
Yeah, true. But I think Raisy would love that. I think that fuels him.
Yeah.
If he's like, oh great, we're going to just fight for 10 minutes straight, amazing. I can't think of anything I would enjoy more. And although that actually didn't work out too well for Raisy in the clutch next game, that was very matchup specific.
Yes.
And I think with BJ and Aizen, if you're just going head-to-head in fights, and BJ's going to be a little better overall, unless you've got those great traps with the turret, and to make that really effective, you need to be at least contesting the control, having control to secure these fights, at least reliably. Otherwise, you're just hoping for the best, and av3k won't be. I don't think he'll be playing like that.
No, you really need to have everything sort of preset going into it. You have to have a game plan, especially versus Raisy right now, because otherwise he seems to be 2 steps ahead. He's got to this point where he's willing to go for some really quite crazy plays that are just absolutely outrageous if he thinks the gamble is worth the risk. But also, he's got to this point where it seems like he's got such a good read on all of his opponents now.
Yeah, it's been insane. His rise to power has been a thing of beauty, but is that going to continue? Ladies and gents, we get into map 3 between av3k and Raisy. Raisy repping the Maestro fellas, and I'm sure they're going to enjoy producing some videos of him. And av3k just taking it a little easy at the moment. Got himself early heavy, but no need to overplay it at the moment. You can see he seems to be a very wary, careful. Where's Raisy going to be coming from as we've now got into the second rotation of items? And there's that. There it's gone. It's done. First blood has just taken place. Dual wield LG. I don't know about you, but I think that it's very difficult to play with, but that just seemed 100% for Raisy.
Yeah, that was super smooth. Completely calculated. It's also rough because this is a map that you do not want to make mistakes in the first few moments of the game on either, because it can put you in such an awkward position, and already Raisy comes through just swinging right off the bat. It doesn't bode well, Zoo. It really doesn't.
He's hurting a little bit here. This is quite dangerous, and the Mega hasn't spawned yet. Raisy, is he getting a little cocky at the moment? As he'll immediately go to 1-1, and av3k, despite being totally whooped in the first fight, doesn't seem discouraged.
Oh, that went out very nicely. Obviously, Raisy, a little bit unfortunate for him as he was just trying to dance and wait for the Mega to come in to actually give himself some more sustainability. Instead, does get taken down. Now we've got av3k that's in a good spot here. If he can actually land these shots, he gets him low, but it's the trade frag as they both take each other out.
That dual wield of the rails. It felt like he triggered it a little bit late, but still managed to get all the shots going. Heavy in 10 seconds. No rockets for Raisy, but Tribal actually still pretty difficult to deal with. Oof, was that between his legs? Trying to stop him getting over that heavy easily. He's punishing a lot, in fact, but there's the LG chasing him down. av3k feeling good now, 3-2. And you know, Raisy was being, as I said, a little bit cocky earlier. Raisy's, av3k is someone you really don't want to be cocky against, because he can take your errors and he can make them feel like, yeah, he can just punish you so hard. He can make them feel like the worst thing you've ever done.
He is, though. If Raisy wants to play outlandish, I think no one's really going to be able to stop him if he's got that mindset on the go. Already going straight back in, hoping to get another frag there. He did go for the akimbo out and pop it, but it didn't really help him too much in the fight. He does fall. av3k now with a 4th frag, took the lead, but only for a matter of seconds there before it's once again forced back into an equal scoreline.
You can see it's Raisy just wanting to fight. Never stop. Heavy's up in 5. He does find him. av3k looks the wrong way. Lot of damage taken, but Raisy's kind of low himself. The rocket will not hit its mark, and Raisy will get back into the lead.
Raisy on the roam as he is hunting right now. Looking hungry for a scrap versus av3k. Oh, incredibly low though, left on just 8 HP, 1 HP for Raisy as he's still trying to fight both of them, duking it out towards the Mega, but Raisy doesn't even go for it. He drops stakes down, fully commits to get the kill, knowing that also av3k was low. Luckily, dispatches the turret as well, so there's no awkward shenanigans there. And he fully commits for another fight. That's 7 frags. All of a sudden, he started to bloat that scoreline, Zoo.
That's totally insane that he's taking these risks, and he just has no fear at all, no respect. He just does exactly what he wants in the server. av3k decided he's going to take matters into his own hands and just press the issues like, right, Raisy, if you're going to play like that, let me introduce you to the person who invented that style. That's av3k, me. I'm pretending to be av3k.
Yeah, I got that one.
Okay,
yeah,
good.
I got that one.
Good.
Good job, Z. Proud of you, buddy.
First week of stage 2.
But you know, shake off those cobwebs from you.
Here it comes, man. Here it comes. He's doing it again, and there's only 1 frag away from tying it up. This is really solid from av3k.
1 frag difference. Oof. The drop down as they're going to spot each other out. av3k.
Oh.
Just getting slapped about by that rail. Just nudged Zoo.
Well, Raisy actually goes in. Oh my god, that was close. The mega health. That was barely enough to make a difference. Another rail. Oh my god, the direct.
5-minute warning.
This is a very close map 3.
That's like literally the role reversal of the 2 positions they were in, but this time the Mega actually spawned, so it saved the life rather than when Raisy died, because the timing was slightly wrong. And av3k not slowing down off the back of that either, now an 8-7. He's finally actually got a lead to play with. Raisy will be looking to try and tie this up, but he's not given a chance. av3k's starting to pop off here. That was a beautiful rocket to rail.
Raisy is risking a lot in this game, the way that he's been playing. I wonder if he's going to sort of relinquish control of that approach, or if he's actually, if anything, is going to go in harder with it. Dual wheels out. He has the rails. He's got a few shots left with it. But he is in trouble. Shotgun's good, but he lands the 2 back-to-back rail shots and puts himself 1 frag away. Oh my god. Why is he going for the lightning gun? That's unbelievable. Just go and get the mega health. He's like, I want the lightning gun. Want the lightning gun. Want the lightning gun. Heavy is taken by Raisy, though. Sorry, this is all very alarming, Jackie.
Yeah, this is wild right now. This is starting to get a little bit ridiculous. I mean, a 10-8 scoreline. av3k's fired up. He's hitting some filthy shots. Both of them fully committing to pretty much every fight that comes their way. It's another trade, Zoo.
Unreal. Absolutely unreal. But these trades, av3k's not going to be too upset about. He's got a 2 frag lead. Raisy has got the dual wield. And we've been seeing plenty of that, Jackie. No comment being made on the akimbo. Are you okay?
Oh, I know.
You need to talk?
I know, mate. Too reserved with it right now, but that's definitely not what he has been. Raisy consistently popping it as he's been going in, just swinging all these guns about and doing so much damage. Starts to come back into the fray once more. 11-10. 1 frag between them both. Calculating his next fight. Did go for the prediction as he heard him stomping his way around the stairs. Gets him low, and will find another frag. Barely making it through, but he does scrape out.
He was just waiting for the information the whole time, being very, very quiet. Got to watch out for the turret. Love that little switch right at the end on the target that he was going for. Very, very messy match, but it's been really, really fun. And honestly, I think av3k's been enjoying it, being able to keep himself close, knowing that his mechanics are on par with Raisy. Lightning gun out, Raisy will narrowly win that fight. 12-11, 2.5 minutes to go, and a string of major items have just come up. And av3k has been spotted. That's 1 rail, that's 2 rails. And that's a troubling sign now for av3k. Will he expect this?
Ooh, the drop down, firing off the rockets, gets a good connection across. Raisy, on the hunt, barely surviving with 10 HP, but he gets the kill. And now he's really starting to add to that tally. He's pushing it further and further. 13 frags, it's not neck and neck like it once was. He's actually starting to build himself a lead now. Zoo.
This is still very difficult. He can't go close at all. The shotgun hurts a lot, but he's hitting like a truck. 14-11. av3k's only going to want to continue his aggression at the moment, knowing how low Raisy's been. But can he find it before Raisy's able to stack up? Oh, the lift LG. Rail shot. av3k lands. Oh, and he can't follow it up in time. Raisy 2 in a row. 15-11 at the moment.
Raisy's living it right now, doing everything he wants into this matchup. It looked like av3k was having a really good game, but that's definitely started to slow down. He's been put in a box by Raisy. The double comes through. Let's see if both of these guns are going to cause some trouble, though, as he is getting slapped about a bit. He's low on HP. It's an awkward fight between the 2 of them. The shotgun comes round, but it will be the rail that will steal the limelight.
This is it. This is the last moment. Oh, he's missed the initial shot.
No!
The pummel! No! Raisy not like this. 16-12. He re-extends that lead and he shames av3k once more.
Oh no. That's not acceptable. You can't be doing that. This is not how this works. Raisy, he wasn't content with just the one. He's going to go for another one as well. Oh!
Oh, this has been a wild run. He's trying again. It's unbelievable. And Avic's like, no, seriously, it's been 3 times this series. Let me go. Well, I guess technically 2.5.
Yeah. Oh, that is just madness. Oh, he's still trying his luck. He's hoping that he'll get it. He's still got av3k low. Oh, but it's a sickeningly good rail shot instead.
GG. That was a slobber knocker indeed. And Raisy is going to take the 3-0. I feel like a lot of that was unnecessary, but I'm very happy that we saw it.
Oh, yeah. It was definitely a spectacle that was amazing to behold.
What kind of accuracy are we seeing from the pummel hit? That was, yeah.
That's crazy, though.
Compose yourself.
2 of those in literally the space of, what was that, like 30 seconds maybe?
Not even.
It was pretty quick.
And it was like a double pummel afterwards, and then he just pummeled the turret as well. It's like, oh, I'm going to just take everything down now.
Rage was coming out. Wow, that is absolutely outrageous. From what was actually a very close game here on the 3rd map.
It was an awesome game.
Yeah, and we saw some like wild, lovely shots there coming through from av3k. He was looking really good in terms of performance that final map. Some beautiful flicks, lovely rocket to rails. Positioning was great. Unfortunately, once Raisy has woken up and that sleeping giant has, come out of its slumber, you kind of can't ever put it back to bed too.
I do like that av3k sort of took the style that Raisy was playing and was like, you know what? Instead of trying to fight it off and to put it on a leash, he's just going to roll with the punches, and he's going to try and deliver the punches too. And av3k had some brilliant moments throughout this game. The thing is, it's just an unrelenting amount of pressure, and in the fashion that Raisy does it, it's super difficult to handle, to control, to expect. Even if it's happening all the time, you still don't expect it in the manner of which Raisy delivers it. You're just waiting for the pummels like me.
I was just waiting to see it. Get reminded of the crazy stuff. I mean, the thing is, there were so many frags in this match as well. So we've still got some time between it because of just the sheer amount of kills that were being racked up. It was definitely a very bloody affair.
30 in total, I think, 18 to 12 in the end. That is absolutely heaps. And yeah, I mean, Oliver, our replay man, has had a difficult affair picking all of these out. It's been so much fun on this Veil. I don't think I expected the series to play out quite as intensely as this. Is this where it happened? Oh my god. And we saw it from Raisy's point of view there. When we called it from av3k on live, it was... Oh, it's just savagery, and he's trying it again. Oh, this is the rail.
That was a really nice rail as well, actually, on the way out, which wasn't even his intention initially. He was fully committed on that pummel, and went, oh, railing.
It was about landing the punches, but what can you do? I'm sure he's going to be still quite pleased with the outcome.
Oh yeah, I think you would be. In terms of like proving a point and just having that one as an exclamation mark at least for the matchup, not only have you 3-0'd, but you've also done so in just very flamboyant style.
Yeah, so I'm hoping... Don't lead. We're good. I'm really hoping we see more Raisy like that, because I think Raisy's been getting more and more and more fun to watch, and I think he's relaxing more as well in his games, even though he seems to have this sort of like robot Terminator-ish to associate with that kind of toxic personality that he seems to show. He's got a very fun, eccentric style that I want to see a whole lot more. But enough about that now, because we have got Effortless versus Dehang coming up in our 3rd match of the day. Thoughts, Jackie?
I think that one should actually be pretty tasty. I do love seeing a bit of Dehang. It always gets me excited. Obviously, that means that we are going to be seeing some of our American players as well with the new format that's in play now, so you guys don't have to wait all night to see the NA boys. We'll be mixing it up as we go back and forth between the Europe and North American players now for the rest of the night, so it should be a very exciting time. Blood, Veil, and Runes being the maps that we have coming out there for Effortless versus Dehang. Effortless has been looking better and better as well. So
He's really been stepping it up. It's been a lot of fun watching him play, especially the last portion of Stage 1, moving into Luca. Really, really enjoyed the style that he's given. Dehang has been Dahang has been a legend in Quake Champions, but I don't feel like I've seen his peak performance in some weeks. So I wonder if there is some room for a surprise outcome.
You never know. We'll have to wait and find out for that one once we come back from the break. When we're plugged back in, it should be an exciting time. Effortless versus Dahang will be on your screens after this.